Hello everyone, this is Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing team, bringing you a race today from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. This will be from the 1.5-mile high-banked oval. This is going to be the Fanatec Street Stock Series running in Season 4 of 2020. Let's walk through the starting grid, starting in the 18th position. In car number 11, that's Matt French out of the New York region. In the 17th spot, in car number 8, racing out of Texas is Michael Dolan Jr. Michael's a regular on the ARCA Menard Series. Unfortunately for Michael, he did not make the starting grid in time, so he'll be starting from the pits. Starting in the 16th spot. In car number 6, the Unical Chevrolet, the Union 76 Chevrolet, that's Charles Jones racing out of Carolina. Charles also a regular on the ARCA Menard Series. In the 15th starting spot, in the 18 car, that's Charles Feltz from Pennsylvania, also a regular in the ARCA Menard Series. In spot 14, in car number 16, that's Connor Bolting, running from Chippenham, United Kingdom. Connor, a regular in the Ferrari GT3 Challenge. He generally is a road racer. Connor coming to race in circles with us here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. In the 13th starting position, in car number 12, the Canada Tourism car, that's Stephen Windebank. Stephen from Canada, he's also a regular in the ARCA Menard Series. In the 12th spot, in car number 7, that's Dakota Sutherland running the Wrangler car, Dakota from the Great Plains region. He's a regular on the iRacing Late Model Tour. In the 11th starting spot, in car number 13, racing out of Florida, it's Jay Davis. Jay is a regular in the NASCAR iRacing Gander Truck Series. Now, your top 10 competitors, starting in the 10th position in car number 9, that's Pierre Gallant. Pierre racing out of Canada. In the 9th starting spot, in car number 14, that's Anthony Plunk. Anthony racing in the Great Plains region. He is a regular in the NASCAR Pro 2 Light, or in the iRacing Pro 2 Light Truck Series. In the 8th starting spot, in car number 15, the Hot Wheels Chevrolet of Jamie Horner. Jamie racing with us from down under, Australia, New Zealand, mate. In the 7th starting spot, in car number 5, that's Ryan Chandler in the Cobra Kai Chevrolet. Ryan from the Mid-South region. In the 6th starting position on the grid, that's the car number 10, the Monster Energy Chevrolet of Daniel Bournet. In the 5th starting spot, in car number 4, the Snuggle Chevrolet of Brandon Sin. Brandon racing with us from California. He's a regular in the VRS GT Sprint Series. The top 4 starting spots now, starting in the 4th position in car number 1, that's Michael Mitchell racing out of the Midwest. Starting 3rd, it's 2nd row inside. In car 17, that's Rhys DeGoey, also racing from Australia, New Zealand. On the front row outside, in the University of Missouri Chevrolet, car number 2, Jacob Johnson racing out of Bailey, Colorado. Jacob currently in the top 200 among the Advanced iRacing Legends Cup drivers. And on the pole, in car number 3, the Craftsman Chevrolet of Jacob Gosnell. Jacob racing out of Keene, New Hampshire. He's a regular in the NASCAR SK Modified Series. Let's join the action here as the pace car brings them down the back straightaway. Gosnell on the pole, Jake Johnson to his outside. It's the two Jakes running up front, followed by Rhys DeGoey and Michael Mitchell as they come into turn number 3 now, the pace car leading them around. This is going to be 20 laps at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Charlotte, for the iRacing Street Stocks, a lot like Talladega, Daytona. A lot like Talladega and Daytona for the NASCAR Cup boys. They run close. The draft comes into play. It's very easy to have a big crash. Pace car's in. Looks like Gosnell's on the throttle. Jacob Gosnell takes a quick lead. Jake Johnson drops into second place right behind him with Rhys DeGoey third, Michael Mitchell fourth, Brandon Sin rounding out the top 5. Right now it's Jacob Gosnell with the lead. They come into turn number 1 now. Gosnell down on the blue line. Jake Johnson right behind him. The one car of Michael Mitchell to the outside here. Looks like he's trying to make his way past Jake Johnson and move up to challenge for the lead as they come down the back straightaway. It's Jake Gosnell, Michael Mitchell side by side. Jake Johnson third. The rest of the pack following behind. Cars running really close here in the draft as the street stocks get up to speed at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jacob Gosnell leads them through turn 3 into turn 4. They're going to come out of 4 into the tri-oval. It's still Jacob Gosnell with the lead. Jake Johnson on the inside with Michael Mitchell on the outside and Rhys DeGoey in the 17 car. The 10 of Daniel Bournet also making a run. It's Gosnell, Johnson, Mitchell, Bournay, and DeGoey running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as they come out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Gosnell continues to lead, keeping that car down low. Jake Johnson looks to the inside of Gosnell. Now crashed down to the inside. I didn't see who that was, but it was a pretty difficult crash. Going back into the pack, I can't tell who that was. We'll go back up front. Right along here with the 1 of Michael Mitchell. Jake Johnson on the inside, right behind Jake Gosnell. 1 gets sideways, 1 gets into the 10. The 10 goes screaming into the infield. Now the 10 back up onto the main part of the straightaway. The 1 goes to the inside. The 1 slides up in front. Big crash here. The 4, the 7, the 1. Lots of cars involved here. That's going to make a mess up front. And we go back up to the front. It's still going to be Jake Gosnell and Jake Johnson running 1, 2. Gosnell first, Johnson second. The crash pushed the 17 car of Reese DeGoey into third place. Gosnell, Johnson, DeGoey running 1, 2, 3. Michael Mitchell and Daniel Bournay, the recipients of some bad luck there. It looks like no, Bournay managed to make it through. So Bournay involved in that accident, but did not end up with enough damage to create any real problems. Up front, it's Jacob Gosnell first, Johnson second, Reese DeGoey third, Daniel Bournay fourth. Looks like the 15 car of Jamie Horner, that's the Hot Wheels car, has made its way up into the top 5. So it's Gosnell, Johnson, DeGoey, Bournay, Horner, followed by Anthony Plunk. Plunk a good distance back. Right now it looks like it's a 5-car breakaway for the lead here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are on lap number 4 of 20. Jacob Gosnell so far has led every lap of this race. Gosnell leads them through the tri-oval back to the start-finish line. This is to begin lap number 5. Gosnell with the lead, Jake Johnson second, the 17 of DeGoey third, the 10 of Bournay looking inside for fourth, followed by the 15 of Horner. Johnson glued to Gosnell's back bumper. It's Gosnell, Johnson, then the 10 of Bournay now. Bournay moving ahead of the 17 of Reese DeGoey. The 15 of Jamie Horner stays on that inside line. So it's the 17 of DeGoey on the outside, a 4-car train trying to go by on the inside. Gosnell, Johnson, Bournay, and Horner working their way past the 17 of DeGoey. DeGoey now has dropped all the way to 4th place. He's trying to hold off the 15 of Horner as they go back by the start-finish line. This to start lap number 6. Johnson gets up high. The car comes out of the pits. It's Gosnell, Johnson, Bournay, DeGoey, and Horner. Those are the top 5, and they are running away from the rest of the field. It's a 5-car breakaway right now. Looks like one of these 5 cars, barring an incident, is going to be your winner. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Gosnell leads them. It's Gosnell, then the 10 of Bournay. Johnson shuffled to the outside. Johnson now in third, the 15 of Horner in fourth, the 17 of DeGoey fifth. Gosnell, Bournay, Horner, Johnson on the outside. The 17 of DeGoey looks underneath. Johnson stays up high. Johnson looks like he's going to drop all the way back to 5th place. Let's hop up in the front car here and ride along with Jacob Gosnell. Let's see what this looks like from the inside. We're going to ride in here with Gosnell. Gosnell leads them now out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. He stays right on the blue line as he goes down the back straightaway. Foot to the floor here. These cars, you hold the throttle to the floor, try not to hit the brake, and hope that the draft is your friend. You also try to stay out of trouble. Very much like a Talladega race or a Daytona race in the NASCAR Cup Series. Gosnell out of turn number 3 now onto the front straightaway. He heads into the tri-oval, goes right down to the blue line, crosses the start-finish line. This is to begin lap number 8 on the blue line again now into turn number 1. Jacob Gosnell continues to lead. So far, we're 8 laps in. Gosnell has led every lap. It's Gosnell, Bournay. Horner now has moved up to 3rd. Reese DeGoey 4th. Jacob Johnson drops back to 5th, and he looks like he's in danger of losing the draft here. Johnson, a significant distance back from the 17 of DeGoey. He's going to need to get on the throttle here. He's going to lose the draft, and once you lose the draft at Charlotte, it's really difficult to catch up. Across the start-finish line this time by... This is now to begin lap number 9. Jacob Gosnell continues to lead. Daniel Bournay second. Jamie Horner continues to run third in the Hot Wheels machine. Reese DeGoey 4th, and Jake Johnson in 5th place. Looks like Johnson is closing very slowly on this lead group. He must be getting just enough of a draft that it looks like he can close in. Gosnell leads him down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Gosnell followed by Bournay, then the 15 of Horner. The 17 of DeGoey goes up high. Now looks back to the low side. DeGoey back down onto the blue line. It's still Jacob Gosnell with the lead, followed by Daniel Bournay. Gosnell brings them through the tri-oval. They're going to cross the start-finish line here. It's going to be Gosnell leading, starting lap number 10. Gosnell followed by Bournay, then the 15 of Horner, the 17 of DeGoey and Jake Johnson in car number 2, running in 5th. Johnson still about 8 car lengths back of this lead group. Holding on here, hoping to close, hoping he's getting enough draft to close in on this bunch, or that this bunch will start racing each other and Johnson can catch up. A little bit of internet lag there, causing some flicker. It's Gosnell with the lead, followed by Bournet. The 15 of Horner shuffled to the outside now. The 17 of DeGoey looks to the inside. So it's Gosnell, Bournet. Looks like at the line it's still going to be the 15 of Horner in 3rd, the 17 of DeGoey in 4th, Jake Johnson in car 2 in 5th. He's begun to close here on this lead pack. The 17 starts to flicker a little bit. DeGoey with a little bit of internet trouble here. Hopefully he can hold on. That was the halfway point. It's still Jacob Gosnell with the lead. Gosnell has led every lap of this race. He continues to lead down the back straightaway as they head into turn number 3. Jacob Gosnell leads Daniel Bournet. Jamie Horner on the outside, DeGoey on the inside. DeGoey moving into 3rd now. Jake Johnson stays in 5th. It's a 5-car breakaway. Behind them, a second group. Anthony Plunk, Charles Jones, Matthew French, Stephen Windebank, and Charles Feltz. But up front, it's all Jacob Gosnell. 9 to go this time by. Gosnell continues to lead. We're just past halfway. It's still Jacob Gosnell with the lead. The 17 of Reese DeGoey slips up ever so slightly. That forces the 15 to go a little high. Jake Johnson starting to look underneath. He continues to stay right at the tail end of this lead group. Down the back straightaway, it's Jacob Gosnell with the lead. The 10 car of Daniel Bournet glued to his back bumper. Behind him, the 17 of Reese DeGoey flickers a little bit, but takes 3rd place. In 4th, the 15 of Jamie Horner, the Hot Wheels Chevrolet. It's Gosnell, Bournet, DeGoey, Horner. Bournet looking all over, trying to find a way around the 3 of Jacob Gosnell. Gosnell continues to stay glued to that bottom line as he comes out of turn number 2 here onto the back straightaway. It's Jacob Gosnell with the lead, followed by Daniel Bournet, Reese DeGoey, Jamie Horner, and Aaron Johnson. Horner now has moved past DeGoey into 3rd, so it's Gosnell, Bournet, Horner, DeGoey, Johnson. Johnson continues to ride at the tail end of this lead group. They come out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway here, getting ready to head through the tri-oval. This is going to be to start lap number 13. It's still Jacob Gosnell with the lead, followed by Daniel Bournet. The 15 of Jamie Horner has moved into 3rd. The 17 of Reese DeGoey on the outside. Jake Johnson running 5th. Very little has changed up front here as we watch this 5-car pack break away from the rest of the field. It's still Jacob Gosnell with the lead. Gosnell leads them into turn number 3, followed by Daniel Bournet. Bournet glued to Gosnell's back bumper. Can he find a way with 7 to go to get around Jacob Gosnell? Out of turn number 4, onto the front straightaway through the tri-oval. This to start lap 14. It's still Jacob Gosnell. The 10 of Bournet looks inside. No dice. Gosnell leads them into turn number 1. It's Gosnell, Bournet, Horner, DeGoey, and Johnson. Johnson continues to run 5th. There are 6 to go. It's still Jacob Gosnell in the lead, followed by Bournet, Horner, DeGoey, and Johnson. At Charlotte with the draft, this is anyone's race, but right now it's been Jacob Gosnell who so far has led every lap at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 10 and the 15, Bournet and Horner, slide up just a little bit. Gosnell continues to lead. Out of turn number 4, onto the front straightaway. They go through the tri-oval. This to start lap number 15. Gosnell continues to lead. It's Gosnell, Bournet, Horner, DeGoey, and Jake Johnson. Johnson has closed here on this pack. There is no gap now. Johnson looks to the inside of the 17 of Reese DeGoey, pulls back and thinks better of it. It's still Johnson at the tail end of the lap here, or at the tail end of the pack. Gosnell with the lead, Bournet 2nd, Horner 3rd, DeGoey 4th, Johnson 5th. They go into turn number 3 now. Gosnell continues to lead. The 10 of Bournet looks up high. The 15 of Horner glues to the bottom line. It's Gosnell, Bournet, Horner, DeGoey, Johnson. They come through the tri-oval, this time by. Johnson gets a fender underneath the 17 of Reese DeGoey. The 3 of Gosnell continues to lead, but Johnson's made a pass here. Jake Johnson looks like he's going to move up into the 4th position. 4 to go. Jake Gosnell. Johnson and the 15 get together. The 15 and the 17 hit the wall hard on the outside line. That leaves Jacob Gosnell with the lead. Daniel Bournet in 2nd. Jake Johnson has moved up to third here after this accident. Johnson continues to hold on to the draft. He's about 8 car lengths back of this lead pair. It's Gosnell, Bourne, Jake Johnson running 1, 2, 3. They come out of turn 4 onto the front straightaway through the tri-oval. At this time by, there'll be 3 to go as Jacob Gosnell continues to lead. He's led every lap at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Gosnell up front, followed by Daniel Bourne. Jake Johnson trying to close on this pair. Johnson lost a little bit of ground in that accident, trying to make this up with 3 laps to go. Down the back straightaway is Jake Gosnell in the lead, followed by Daniel Bourne, then Jake Johnson. Into turn number 3, Gosnell leads Bournell right on Gosnell's back bumper. Jake Johnson closing ever so slightly as they go through turn 3, out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Jake Johnson has closed yet again. He's within 5 car lengths now. Jacob Gosnell with the lead. Daniel Bourne second. Jake Johnson third. There are 2 to go. Jacob Gosnell continues to lead as Daniel Bourne looks for a way around, and now Jake Johnson looks like he's moving very slowly into the picture. Will he have enough time to catch this pair and make a run at a win at Charlotte Motor Speedway? Jake Johnson 3 car lengths back now. Jacob Gosnell with the lead down the back straightaway into turn number 3. It's Gosnell, Bourne, Johnson running 1, 2, 3. In fourth, the 14th car of Anthony Plunk, but he's not going to be a factor unless these 3 automobiles crash. Jake Johnson now has closed on the leaders. He's half a car length back of the second place car of Daniel Bourne. They come out of turn 4 into the tri-oval. Jake Johnson right behind Daniel Bourne. Johnson looking to the inside. 1 to go this time by. Jake Johnson gets a fender underneath the 10 of Bourne. Johnson closes onto the back of the 3 car of Jacob Gosnell. Now looks underneath Gosnell as well. Coming out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. It's Jake Gosnell and Jake Johnson side by side. Jake Johnson with the inside line. They come down the back straightaway. Johnson takes the lead on the back straightaway as they head into turn number 3 now. Jake Gosnell all over Jake Johnson's back bumper. Jake Johnson 1, Gosnell 2, Bourne 3. They come into turn number 3 now through the middle of 3 and 4. They're on their way out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Jake Johnson holding on. He's got the car on the blue line. They come into the tri-oval, headed for the checkered flags here as they come across the stripe. Oh my gosh, internet lag. It's going to be Jake Johnson with a win here. Jake Johnson takes the win, passes 2 cars on the last lap. Johnson, your winner, followed by Jacob Gosnell, then Daniel Bourne in the 4th spot, the 14th car of Anthony Plunk, then the 11 of Matthew French, the 12 of Stephen Windebank. Charles Feltz finishes 7th. Pierre Gallant out of Canada runs 8th. Brandon Sin, the 4 car, finishes 9th. And Jay Davis rounds out the top 10. Jake Johnson with quite the race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, passing 2 cars on the last lap to take the win. Boys, it doesn't get any better than that. This is some of the best racing you're going to see in the Fanatec Street Stock Series. What a race. What a win for Jake Johnson. For the Johnson iRacing team on the Johnson iRacing Network, this is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.